Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Zachary Reality, and today we're going to be chatting about Bachelor in Paradise Season 10, Episode 3. We've been doing recaps every single episode, so we're back for another one today because there was 2 episodes this week. So give this video a big thumbs up and remember to hit subscribe. So where we left things off last week, aka last night, the night before, Susie, Justin, Lexi, the whole debacle. So Susie decided to decline Justin's rose. Justin walked off the rose ceremony. Susie said he's trying to do the right thing. She chased him, and then Lexi ran away. Justin was in a hotel room and venting to Jesse Palmer, the host of the show, about his breakup with Susie and how they loved each other so much, but it just was not working. Susie was looking for Justin, and she could not find him. And then the producers were not letting her see him because he did say, I'll see Susie when I get back. So he didn't even want to see her. But Susie was like adamant, like, I want to see Justin. Like, I could help. If he's spiraling, let me help. So I really hope that producers were not instigating that situation. It's also crazy how this whole thing just blew up in their face. These were like 2 exes that just came to paradise that, like, this whole thing just blew up. And Justin had a rose to give out because Susie said no. So Jesse was like, let's give out a friendship rose, give it out to someone else. And it just sucks because it's just like Susie could have taken the rose and stayed and then explored things with Jeremy or whoever else and had her chance. That's what Justin wanted. Justin was ready to go. I listened to his podcast on Bachelor Happy Hour. Justin was ready to leave. It was not working with Lexi. We all saw the Instagram comments. Like, he wanted Susie to have the opportunity to find love. And Susie, she's so selfless. She was like, no, I can't accept this. I can't do this. And then this rose he has, and I thought he would give it to Lexi because he spent the most time with Lexi. And wouldn't it be the right thing to do after he kind of like chose his ex over Lexi, which was her biggest fear? And in Justin's like stance, he's like, no, like Lexi told me she wasn't interested in me. We have all these differences. So he was kind of like bitter, maybe getting rejected by Lexi, even though I feel like the right thing to do would have been to give Lexi a rose. I mean, it really would have been for Susie to accept the rose and date other people. But then I feel like it should have went to Lexi, right? Some of the comments are like not here for Lexi. They're like, no, she's this, she's that. Some of you guys are like really team Justin. I feel like the right thing to do would have been to give it to Lexi. But the other option was to give it to Jill, who is Justin's longtime friend from the last season of Bachelor in Paradise, because they were on it together 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So Jill now gets to stay, and Susie's like, take it, Jill, because she almost didn't want to take it. Because it's definitely like it's not like a pity rose, though. It's just like, take the rose. The show is crazy. People get eliminated so easily. Like, if you can get a rose, take it. Like, no one should be blamed for taking it. Susie is such a girl's girl. She's so selfless. She even put Jill before her own because Susie could have got that rose. But she just, like, is too kind of a person, which is what Justin was, like, saying to her. So Jill now gets the rose, which means Allie Joe's going home. And she's, like, pissed at Dale. Zoe's going home, and she's having, like, this whole emotional cry session with Bailey. And then the Goldens arrive the next day. They arrive on this big catamaran boat, and there's like 9 of them, and they're all slow motion and glanced up and looking vibey and cool as they're about to enter the beach of youngins. And they're bringing a lot of fresh energy. It seems like they're all friends, right? It doesn't really seem like anything crazy is happening, but there was a connection on the boat between Natasha and RJ. She was sitting on his lap, and we saw later in the episode April. She was kissing Kim or Jack. April was kissing Jack in the pool, and then she also was flirting with Kim. So April was playing the fields, and she was living her best life. And Kathy looked amazing. She was so funny. Leslie, Keith, they kind of just fit in and started mingling with the youngins the next day. And it was kind of just nice to see everyone vibing and having a good time. And then Andrew Spencer arrives. Andrew Spencer is from Katie's season. He went to Paradise, and he has a date card. And he was a fan favorite, and Justin was his bestie, but Justin left. And Andrew says that he's interested in Alexe and Bailey. Those are the 2 girls that are his type. So I felt like there was a few options. Maybe he could have talked to Jill, Kat, Lexi. Now Lexi's gone. What could have been? Lexi and Andrew Spencer. I don't know. But Andrew really likes Alex and Bailey. So he chats with both of them and he decides that he's going to take Bailey on the date. And Bailey just accepted Jeremy's rose last night. So Bailey was like, I gotta go talk to Jeremy. Shouldn't be a big deal considering Jeremy went on a date with Susie the day before, and Bailey was the cool girl. She was like, okay, no worries. Go on the date, have a good experience. But now the roles are reversed, and Jeremy is not so happy. Jeremy's like, wait, what? He was like, well, like, what? Because the thing is that made him mad is that Bailey apparently said the night before that she was all in on Jeremy and that, like, she was really here for him and that all of her eggs were going in his basket. And that is what prompted Jeremy to give Bailey the rose over Susie, even though he had a great date with Susie, is because the confidence and the reassurance that Bailey gave Jeremy. And that's why he chose Bailey, because he really was just getting to know both of them. And that's what Paradise is about, getting to know multiple people at once. So obviously, he wishes that Susie would have stayed so he could have continued dating both of them. But he chose Bailey because he had to choose. And he was really pissed because now he feels like Bailey used him for a rose. And I feel like Jeremy needs to calm down in this moment because he's like going from 0 to 100 so quickly, where it's just like, whoa, like, yeah, she definitely said that, but like, you're throwing her off guard here. Like, a new guy came in, we're all here for the experience. Like, of course she's gonna go on a date and have fun. Like, calm down. Like, he just got so upset and threw a little bit of a tantrum. So then she started crying and told Alex and Parisa that she was like really upset about how Jeremy's reaction was. And I feel like she couldn't go into that date being present because she was so worried about Jeremy. So Jeremy now is telling the producer that he wants like Susie back. So he's like, call Susie, call Susie. And like literally they go to the interview and they call Susie with the producer's phone and Susie's like on the plane about to board and is like, I don't think I'm gonna come back. Like little too late, shoot or shoot, like he said, but like there's no way Susie's gonna come back after that was just so emotional for her. And like it sucks that like Susie's whole experience was about like her ex. We wanted to see her thrive on the beach, but I don't think she really liked Jeremy more than like a friend. And Susie probably realized that nobody was there for her. There really is so few options. So it's just like sayonara. So Bailey and Andrew's date just does not really go. It goes well, but like you can tell that they kind of break up after. And Jeremy then has to talk to Bailey the next day, and he totally leaves out the part that he called Susie. So I feel like that's got to come up later because he should totally tell her because otherwise that's like lying without like you're like withholding like important information that you got so upset that Bailey went on this date and that you called Susie. Like he definitely should tell her, but I don't think he told her. But they kind of got back together, and then Andrew ended up getting with Alex, who he maybe should have asked originally. But I don't know. It was like a challenge for their relationship, Jeremy and Bailey. But Alex breaks up with Jonathan because Jonathan and Alex, it's just friend vibes. And Alex is like, I really tried. We put in the work, but I just can't be with you anymore. And Jonathan takes it really well. And then Alex and Andrew start to hit it off and they start to kiss. And now I feel like Alex and Andrew are definitely going to be a thing. Meanwhile, all this is happening. The Goldens are playing Two Truths and a Lie. And they're all just like hanging out, playing cards, like doing their thing. So that's like super fun. Now we're back to Jonathan being single again. And he needs to figure out what he's going to do and who he's going to continue a relationship with and get a rose from. And who left is for him is Jill. Jill, who got Justin's, extra rose. And Jonathan and Jill already went on a date, and Jonathan friend zoned her. But now they're both single, and it's like a little too late if he wants to get back with Jill, and it does not feel genuine at all. And Jonathan and Jill have this conversation at the bar, which is so awkward, and everyone was eavesdropping and like being like, what is going on? Why are they stressing? Jonathan's like, I need to make sure that you're okay. And Jill is like, I'm okay. Like, stop asking me if I'm okay. Like, leave me alone. I'm okay. And they kind of just like fight, and it's just like, wow, this feels like two exes from a bitter divorce, and they're just thrown together because there's no one else. And then cue Sean, the Ken guy. He was on Charity season, went to Paradise. Cue Sean. Cue Sean. Sean comes in, flirts with Jill, and Sean and Jill don't make sense. This is not going to go anywhere. What's going to happen is this new girl, Allyshia from Grant season, is going to come in, and Sean's going to link up with her. Jonathan's going to end up going home, and Jill is going to end up going home after that. And then I don't know what happens when Leah comes in, But Leah from Joey's season is coming, and I can't wait to see who she dates. Because I'm just curious about that, because I have not heard anything about that. There's this big game that they play at the end of the episode, The Biggest Secret, sponsored by from some movie that Wells and Jesse do some corny mockery of. Thank God last night's episode was 2 hours, right? So whoever has the biggest secret gets a prize. And the prize is like a VIP room, the big suite at the hotel they're staying at in Costa Rica. And all the secrets were juicy. Someone stole $500,000, but there was one secret that someone slept with someone else while their husband was in the other room in their house sleeping. And the biggest secret was Kathy. Kathy, what? We need her to elaborate. Thank God she has a podcast. So Kathy wins. And Kathy's husband died like 6 years ago. And Kathy is insane in every amazing way. I mean, she is so fun. And she decides to take Keith to the VIP suite with her. And they have some chocolates and champagne. And we don't know when the rose ceremony is yet, because it's going to be like next week. But it looks like there'll be 3 people going home next week. And it'll be one golden guy going home. And then 2 of the young guys going home. So I kind of think Jonathan's going to go home. And also, we saw in the teaser that there's going to be a crazy fight between Kat and Dale, who've been pretty solid all season and been vibing. Obviously, a lot of girls have been trying to shoot their shot with Dale, but Kat has been his main girl. And they had like no airtime this episode because they're just like normal and chill. But I like Kat and Dale and their budding romance, but I do think that the drama is going to hit the fan. I also saw a deleted scene that April and Kat were roommates. So they're matching like some Goldens with the youngins for the roommates. That's so fun, right? I wonder what Kat and Dale are gonna fight about. I also think if Kat like is dramatic and stuff, Dale is not gonna have the energy, and you're gonna ruin your shot with Dale. Like you guys could have a chance. She's gonna be like, I don't even want him anyway. Like after he breaks up with her, I think Dale is gonna break up with Kat, and I think Jess and Spencer are on track to become engaged at the end of the season. I feel like they're most likely to become engaged. So a lot of fun things to come. I cannot wait to see next week's episode, which will be on Monday. And this was my episode 3 recap. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on what you guys thought of the episode below. Give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.